through fire and lace. I'm blessed to walk within your grace. Is to a throig arcade. You laid the path before me. You guided every step. Raise the hammer, string the bow. Her gift is all I need to know. Through toil and trial, through heart and hand, her grace builds up this mighty land. Is the glass the dead time it's sure? We'll build the land, our hearts within. From dawn till dusk, I work, I strive. With your blessing, I'll survive. The loom, the forge, the sword, the grain in your name, I rise again. Got Bua, got Tolan, got Trio. In you lies strength, in you lies skill. Each victory, each talent, each trial. No task too great, no skill too small. Your gifts, dear goddess, guide us all. Into force. Without your light, we have no guide, but with your hand, our place abides. Raise the hammer, string the bow. Her gift is all I need to know. Through toil and trial, through heart and hand, her grace builds up this mighty land. Is the grass the dead? By the grace of the goddess we are free. We'll build the land, our hearts within. I'm blessed to walk within your grace. Blessed by her grace, forever, forever.
Hello, welcome to another exciting episode of Pax Dei, Search for Steel. Tonight I got off to a little late start, but that's okay. We had life going on. Thanks for joining. I appreciate your viewership, if you will. Thank you so much. All right, well, this is Emphier. We are in the midst of eating arrows because we've been doing a lot of combat. And as tonight's conversation will go through, I will be doing a lot more combat. But welcome back. This is where ancient wisdom meets modern life. Tonight, we dive deep into the world of feedback and reflection through the lens of modern thinkers. So we've gone through Confucianism, we've gone through Buddhism, we've gone through, what else did we go through? We've gone through a lot. We've gone through Ubuntu and African philosophy. We've gone through the Stoics, Stoicism as well. So trying to tie all philosophical endeavors into our feedback, right? So we're diving deep into the world of feedback. And tonight we're going to take that Western thinker, so Nietzsche, Foucault, I think it is, and Hooks, on power and reflection. Through, so alongside some timeless indigenous wisdom as well. How does this feedback shape our character, relationships, work, and gaming? When should we listen? And I just realized I need to audio check. So forgive me, because I was on Discord and didn't know if it switched over, and it did. So we're looking at how does feedback shape our character, relationships, work, and game. When should we listen and when should we push back? And how do we know the difference when to do it, right? Get ready for real life stories or stories I found on the internet. Philosophical insight and practical tools to master the art of giving and receiving feedback in every part of the journey. If you're striving to grow stronger, break free from limiting norms, or build more authentic communities, don't miss this episode. Now, let's bring a few modern and postmodern pieces into view. And of course, we have the glitch. I don't know if it's a glitch or it's a server timing error. Honestly, it's probably a server timing error. But anyway, let's continue. I think it's called Friedrich Nietzsche. Had a lot to say about individual growth, often focusing on internal will, but he understood the dynamic with society. He famously spoke of the herd mentality, the feedback of the masses that can sometimes stifle the exceptional individual. Nietzsche often emphasized not seeking approval. Quote, the individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. Unquote. This suggests that sometimes the feedback from the group, social norms, majority opinions, can be a force of mediocrity or conformity. He urged strong spirits to, quote, become who you are, unquote, by sometimes rejecting external feedback and forging your own values. Yet Nietzsche also valued honest friendship, and thus spoke Zarathustra says, quote, companions the creator seeks, not corpses, not herds and believers. Fellow creators the creator seeks, those who will inscribe new values on new tables, which implies surround yourself with peers who challenge you and co-create values, not just echo chambers. That is a form of feedback, the stimulating effect of being among other free spirits. He had disdain for flatterers and yes men. In fact, Nietzsche's ideal of the Übermensch or Übermensch, or Overman, is someone who has gone through the intense feedback loops of life, including suffering and criticism. Now, let me grab some stuff, and I'll get right back to Nietzsche. I think I'm over here. Tried to organize it. No. Being a chest will not do you what you need. I need to leave everything but one area. Oh, and there. That should provide just enough where I'm going to fletch and do long jump. Pretty cool graphic. I love it. Oh, that's not fletching. There we go. So when we're talking about the Übermensch, which I'll just reiterate, is someone who has gone through intense feedback loops, including suffering and criticism, and emerged having created his own meaning. Quote, that which does not kill us makes us stronger, unquote, he wrote, perhaps his most quoted line. And one can interpret that which does not kill us as all adversities and criticisms we endure. If we can incorporate them and overcome, incorporate and overcome, we become stronger in character. There's also a line, quote, sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want to hear their illusions destroyed, unquote, unquote. Excuse me. It's a reminder that honest feedback can destroy comforting illusions. But Nietzsche would say that's ultimately good, if painful, as part of amor fati, or loving one's fate, including harsh truths as a way to growth. Now, if you're not familiar, little sci-fi geeking in me is gonna bring up Andromeda series, written by Bradbury, the writer and creator of Star Trek. I can't remember his first name for him, but I believe everybody knows Andromeda. It was a really good show. It had Nietzscheans, which were a derivative of the human race that they became genetically superior, or they felt that. Anyway, that's just a side note. Michel Foucault, I think it is Foucault. The French philosopher took a different, examining how societal feedback mechanisms can discipline individuals. He studied prisons and schools and hospitals, all institutions that give constant feedback. You have grade, evaluations, surveillance, and that shapes people. Foucault's, I know it's said differently. Maybe somebody can give me a pronunciation tree in there. His concept of subjectivation. Oh man, I am just dying. Subjectivation suggests that we become subjects, i.e., or that is, individuals with identity, through internalizing social norms and feedback. For example, in Discipline and Punish, one of his publications, he describes how in a Panopticon prison, prisoners eventually police themselves because they think they're always being watched. They've internalized the external gaze. Translate that to everyday life. We all carry an invisible audience in our heads. A sense of what people, society, family, etc., would say about us. And it feeds back into how we behave and how we think of ourselves. Foucault wasn't entirely pessimistic. He also wrote about, quote, technologies of the self, which people can work on themselves, right? Which might include accepting or resisting different feedback loops. But one of his warnings was, be aware of how power operates through feedback. For instance, a workplace might have a feedback culture that seems neutral, but it could be reinforcing certain power hierarchies or norms, like conforming to corporate culture. When everyone's performance is constantly appraised, think of modern metrics, surveillance, social media ratings. We might end up self-censoring or molding ourselves to fit what's expected. Foucault would ask, is that shaping your character in an authentic way? Or are you becoming a product? Ooh, they're fixing that tomorrow, by the way. It'll kick you out of the server because you're doing something. There's a border crossing that does it, and what was the other one? Oh, well, the constant repetitive nature of creating a good. In this case, it was arrowheads to wrought iron arrows, and I was doing a bunch, batch. So where was I? We were asking. He was asking this question: Is that shaping your character in an authentic way, or are you becoming a product of disciplinary power? It's a provocative question that reminds us that not all feedback is given for your personal good. Sometimes it's to make you legible and useful to systems of power. His solution isn't clear cut, but one might infer: cultivate critical awareness. Don't swallow every social feedback as truth. Examine the source and motive. And as a leader, and I studying leadership in depthly for the last 20, 30 years now, this will kill a company in a heartbeat. And why do I say it that way? Well, I say it that way because if you're self-censoring and you're pausing to do what's quote expected or fit into a metric, you're never going to try anything to outside that metric because you don't want to be held accountable, right? There we go. Let's see if we can do it. I made it pretty far. All right. Where was I? Here it is. And perhaps practice limit experiences. So push boundaries to see how stepping out of norms feels, thereby discovering where the external conditioning ends and your own agency begins. One more on Foucault's note. He admired the ancient Greek idea of parrhesia, basically frank truth-telling, especially speaking truth to power. That's a feedback concept. The courage to give unvarnished feedback to somebody above you, like a citizen boldly advising a king. Foucault saw it as essential for both both the speaker's integrity and the recipient's potential improvement. It resonates with our earlier discussions, or yesterday's discussion, a Confucian minister advising an emperor, etc. So even Foucault, for all his talk of power, acknowledged that the ethical dimension of honest feedback in caring relations. All right, let me grab some more Woodstock. I did this before we got online. As a matter of fact, I got kicked from the server because. And oh, I did it again. There we go. This is not for the faint of heart as far as movement is concerned. So be careful when you're watching the stream. Let's see. I just like jumping that far. It's kind of. Alright. Let's see if it kicks me again. Now, Bell Hooks, the late greatest feminist thinker, brings an insightful perspective on feedback. Remember, this channel is, we look at all wisdom to see how it applies. Not necessarily the person behind the wisdom, but how the wisdom itself applies. Especially learning and loving context, right? So we want to take these out of her book, Teaching to Transgress. She describes creating a classroom where everyone's voice is valued, what she calls, quote, engaged pedagogy. A line from one of the lines from her is, quote, the exciting aspect of creating a classroom community where there is a respect for the individual voices is that there is infinitely more feedback. And yes, often this feedback is critical, moving away from the need for immediate affirmation was crucial in my growth as a teacher. So it's not bad, right? She's saying basically, when students feel free to talk back, a teacher actually gets more honest feedback instead of silent compliance. At first, as a teacher, she had to give up her ego desire for constant praise from the students. She learned to respect even the critical feedback as a sign that real learning and engagement were happening. This is a powerful lesson in any field. If you only want praise, you'll create an environment where people either lie to you or disengage completely. If you welcome criticism, truly welcome it, you create growth. For you and for them. Hooks also frames it as shifting paradigms or sharing knowledge in new ways, challenges. It takes time for students to experience that challenge as positive. I would not have worded it that way. I'm actually just trying to avoid the glitch, so let's see if that helped. Okay. She acknowledges that feedback, especially when it challenges deeply held beliefs, like discussing anything deeply held, right? It can be uncomfortable. But by not demanding immediate agreement or liking, she allowed students and herself the time to wrestle with the idea. Her approach to feedback is rooted in love and liberation. To build communities in class or society where people can truly critique each other's ideas and actions without fear, as a path to freedom and ignorance and oppression. She also wrote about love in All About Love, where she mentioned that, quote, in friendships, we are able to hear honest, critical feedback. We trust that a good friend desires our good, unquote. This reinforces the earlier point. Trust and love are what turn hard feedback into something you can accept without feeling diminished. In a loving relationship, friends, families, partners, feedback is a way of caring. Hooks also pointed out that men being a man in that culture often don't get a chance to be lovingly critiqued. They're either flattered or harshly judged, but not nurtured with truth. She advocated for the ethical love where we help each other grow by giving feedback that's honest and compassionate. So bringing these modern voices together. The thread is authenticity and courage. Nietzsche's courage to not be swayed by the masses. Foucault's call to unmask power in feedback and speak truth to it. Let's see, okay. Let me walk away real quick. Good. All right. Where am I? So all of them suggest that feedback should neither be a trap. It shouldn't trap you in conformity, nor should it be something you fear to give in or to give or get. Instead, feedback ideally is part of an emancipatory process. Emancipatory. There we go. It helps us from our delusions. Nietzsche destroyed illusions. From the oppressive norms, Foucault's critique of power. And from ignorance or complacency, Hooks engaged learning, right? So let's talk a little bit about indigenous wisdom, listening circles, and the elder guidance. And I want to I'm gonna look. Why was our party disbanded? Let's see, where am I? I need 2 more things. So basically, party sizes can only be 6 deep. They don't do emojis, but it'd be cool to do emojis. Let's see. I went to the wrong one again. This is what happens when you have too much. Oh, that was it, huh? Let me do this. Oh, I'm doing. Oop, that's not what. There we go. I'll put that there, and I'm gonna keep a row of arrows. Believe it or not, because this combat system is just absolutely insane. I'm gonna keep an entire. He went stone. All right. Now let us beef up a little bit. That was good enough. We got 2 swords because our swords are gonna fail us. And then, so we have to. It's imperative, right? Before concluding our philosophical tour, let's acknowledge indigenous wisdoms and traditions, both in the Americas, as Australia, etc., which often emphasize listening and guidance passed down through storytelling. Many indigenous cultures have not had. Oh, I wanted to go the other way. Crap. That's all right. I don't want to cross the border because I'll just. So, many indigenous cultures have not. They don't have a written philosophical canon, but they do have rich practices that function as feedback systems. For example, many Native American communities have used talking circles or councils where each person speaks in turn while others listen. Someone speaks truthfully about their experience. It often implicitly gives feedback to others through shared understanding. Elders, according to are accorded respect as wise guides. Their feedback on a young person's behavior carries weight. A Mohawk proverb states or says, quote, "When an elder speaks, be silent and listen." Unquote. This isn't to enforce unthinking obedience, but to value the feedback of those who have walked the path before. In such cultures, a young person's character is shaped by a continual loop of storytelling. We might get into the fight before I even get there. Okay, cool. He didn't see me. So you have storytelling, observation, and gentle correction from elders. Right? Those are the 3. Take the concept of the 7 generations teaching among some North American indigenous peoples. The decisions are made considering the impact of 7 generations ahead. This instills a feedback loop between present and future. The voices of the future, in a manner of speaking, are taken into account now. It's a long-term ethical feedback that shapes character toward responsibility and foresight. In Indigenous and Australian cultures, dreamtime stories passed down hold moral lessons. A child learning or hearing a story about what happens to someone who breaks the taboo receives feedback on their own behavior through that narrative. It's indirect feedback, but powerful. You see yourself in the hero or villain of the tale and adjust accordingly. I'm trying to avoid death at the same time I'm trying to get to the easier subjects. I think they're over here. Nope, they're down here. And then we'll take a break and so Indigenous approaches also highlight respect and reciprocity. The feedback isn't just human to human. It's also from nature. For instance, if you overhunt or disrespect the land, nature feeds back with scarcity or illness. Character is shaped by paying attention to that feedback and learning, living in balance. This holistic feedback loop with the environment is something modern life often forgets, but it's crucial. So, from Indigenous wisdom, we glean that feedback. And it can be slow, patient, and woven into the fabric of daily life. It comes via stories, rituals, the council of elders, and the voice of the earth itself. It teaches patience in listening and humility in receiving guidance. All right, so once I get to here, we'll do some combat. I'll show you a little bit about combat, and then we'll go back into the main material, where I'll kind of give you a summary of what we went in last episode and the first part of this episode. These guys are hard, and they got all his hit points back and wasted an arrow. Ah, see? I knew he was going with 2 strikes, but what here is also, you have to be careful of that second swing is very difficult. And look at my stamina. I'll take some damage there, but you have to watch your stamina as well in this game, because in the first iteration of the game, it wasn't too bad. Well, the first iteration was hard. The first part of the second was okay. The second half of the second part was better. Now the third, they just trashed stamina completely. Like, look how fast my stamina is going. Everybody needs stamina to participate. Everybody. And I'm at 209 using my own old values. 209 is a lot of stamina. Allow me to take a little sip of water before I go after this guy. All right. So I'm kind of walking because there's no need to rush. Now, there is a glitch, and I'm going to exploit it. So this guy will never come down. So I just keep the arrows flying into him. And that's why I take a lot of arrows. But the 2 points that I want to make here for the game is the sword was able to get 30 experience points, but my bow got 0 experience points, which I don't think is right. If you use your bow at all, it should get some, right? Or whatever second weapon. However, you have to kill, or the weapon has to be out, we should say, to gain the experience manifested for the encounter. It is a interesting aspect, and you can notice this. These guys are level 2. Well, they're second tier enemies, I should say, and there's up to level 4 tier enemies. In both a category where there's a skull above their head, that's a party endeavor. So there's a party endeavor 2, a party endeavor 3, and party endeavor 4. So you get the skull for 3 different ones. So, but on these are single. Oh, well, you can do parties on these. Don't get me wrong. But, they're only their toughness is 2. Let's get ready for them. Back up a little bit. What I really want is back up, hit him with that. That's called, I think it's Killing Mark. I totally screwed that up. Notice how much he's taken off my stamina. I think that one I saw. There we go. There we go. Alright. So, a little bit of strategy here. This guy has another... I won't call it a glitch. But it's a... same type of thing the other one had. Let's see if I can... here we go. I'm trying to keep him active. There we go. Until I line him up. Now I'll hit him until he's dead. Hopefully. I got 2 boars to the left. If they interrupt me, it's not going to be a big deal, but it'll be a waste of arrows because this guy can hold out. And, everything's a cost in this game. Not necessarily gold, but material cost. So, oh, by the way, when you're a bowman, notice the graphic with the arrow seating onto the bow, notching. If you do it beforehand, it's not. If you hit the button beforehand, it's not gonna pull it back. You have to follow the graphic. So I thought that was kind of a cool detail. But you really have to have timing with the bow, because if you don't string the or notch the arrow, you're not pulling that back. All right, so we go down here. I have a good, not a great, but a good pattern here. And this guy's a bowman. So I'll bring him here and then avoid his arrow. That was a close call, actually. And then I'll do that. That's a lot for an arrow. But I am defending with a greatsword, so to be fair. If I use one of my special powers, I'm gonna I killed him. I was gonna try to finish him off with him. I double tapped. That's fine. If you hold down your left mouse key, a button now, it actually will. Let's say if I pull 2, this one, it'll actually continuously swing, which is not great for stamina, by the way, because you don't want to swing all the time and you want to block. There we go. If I wanted to do this the entire time, but the cost is too much in materials. How did that happen? Yeah, that's what I thought. There we go. What I do is I try to block and back up, let him do the 2 swings and come forward. And now he's low enough where I can finish him off. with the bow and you get the bow experience. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, I like this. Now this guy's a conduit. If you kill him while he's doing his magic, you won't get anything. But if you kill him... Oh my god. I might... Oh, cool. Wow, that was close. That's a healer, so when you... Oh, what the hell am I doing with that? With a healer, they can actually heal themselves, which is fine, but they tend to do a little bit more damage. I'm surprised. What's my combo here? I gotta remember my food combo. There we go. And then we run. Oh, he got me. And he can hide behind a tree, by the way. Got it off. There we go. There we go. That's my least damaging attack. Ah, crap. I was hoping it wouldn't hurt him that much, and then I can switch to the bow again. It's a little bit harder to talk on the podcast and fight than I had anticipated. But that's okay. We're having fun. And what we'll do is we'll do this for a minute and then go back to the lecture. The lecture's really cool about feedback. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I had fun researching it and stuff. Man, that hurts so much. Look at that, 140. And it's all the amount of time he would, there we go. What I'll do is let him swing. There we go. That was nice. This guy, I can't, well, he's a tougher guy. He's a Malay guy. Wow. I didn't expect to... Oh, that was... Ooh, can't believe I... This gives me a little bit more damage. There we go. Oh, I missed him. I do like the fact you can miss people. And now invoke this. It should give me a little bit of hit points back. It's always tough. But look at my stamina is where I'm hurting more than anything. And of course my food runs out, so. Yay. Let's see. I think I cleared out this area right here. Which means I can fight if this guy, that guy's too close. Well, maybe. Let's see if he, there we go. Let's bring him over here. I can't shoot past him. That's the problem. If I shoot past him, what the hell? There we go. What I'm trying to do is back up enough where I can regain some stamina by releasing the, there we go. Ah, come on. That was my own fault. Okay. Got a little bit of kill mark going. Mouse seems okay. It seems like it's doing something weird. Usually it's faster reacting than it normally is. But it could just be me. Let me see if I can bring one guy. Nope. That's two. practice, he can't hit a moving target, and to be fair, moving targets are hard. So you just kind of keep running. Why did I get a block? Anyway. Didn't he get up? That was almost. There we go. It's really a strategy. I walked right into that. I walked right into that hit. Strategy. It's basically just like any other game, except they did make it like 100% better. Although they made the possums. The angry possums aren't angry anymore. But if you knew what the Badgers did to me in the last version of this game, you would see why I was hitting them. Let's get this guy out over here. Come on, follow me. There we go. What I want them to do is, you create, like Sun Tzu, you want to battle them where you want to battle them. Don't let them allow you do the battle. You want to take them to the battle. You don't want them to take you to the battle. Right? Oh, wow. That's usually a more devastating blow. Come on. Gotta get the timing down again. There we go. Oh, wow. Ah, I hit the wrong key, too. I got the arrow off first. Alright. Did I make it through all of them yet? Once I make it through all of them, we'll start our conversation again, but I thought maybe you'd like to see some action tonight. I'm not going into those. They're usually party kind of deals, and my armor's not near what I need to attack this. Although I will take that. It's experience. And any experience is good. Come on. There you go. You gotta keep them interested. And I'm not out of arrows. That's a glitch. Man. It's a gutting move. It really is. There we go. And then, boom. Really? That's fine. I need to get to 20 to get my new armor, so I'm okay with any kind of armor upgrade, but... And I think you get the same amount in a party. Should have. Ow. Break it? Oh, I didn't. That's fine. I turned invisible in the de-aggro, which is actually a great skill. If I didn't work that hard to get him down there in the first place, but I didn't have enough food. So, he would have been a tougher battle. So let's finish him off, and then we'll start in on... Boy, we've covered a lot of ground. We heard a choir of perspectives, right? Let's recap the key philosophical insights on feedback after this guy. We got one more guy, and then they start to respawn, so... There we go. Thought I hit him. So there was my first mistake, is I didn't... Yeah. There we go. I want to back up a little bit, not at a great amount. No. And he has a charge. Oh, so I wonder if that charge... Oh, I thought I had him. And this is what I wanted to do. Take the hit and kill him. Again, and here's the reason why I do that, everyone. My bows is at 41, level 13. My greatswords is at 14. So I'm almost at level 14 with my bow. You know what? I'm so close with my bow. I only have 13 left, which means just one guy. So if you bear with me, we're gonna get back to feedback. But this is a type of feedback in the game, right? This is positive feedback. All right, so I gotta time this room. Let's do it. Let's see if I can game the system. Ah, that was my fault. That gives me like advantage bonuses. Ah, I did it again. Oh. Usually they de-aggro. What I was trying to do is that. There we go. There we go. Then we'll try this. There we go. I got 30 experience points. Did it go up? I'm confused. I hit him with the arrow, right? Alright, well, maybe... let's get the easy guy real quick. And I swear, we'll go back to the thing. That was weird. This is just timing. Keep them interested. And keep your aim directly on them. This is not the easiest thing to do. There. Just repeatedly going to this same spot, kind of, sort of. I'm using so many arrows. Luckily, this doesn't take stamina to actually use, which is really good. It used to be that your weapon swing in verse 1, swinging your weapon actually was fatiguing, which was way too much. You defend, you're fatiguing. You swing, you're fatiguing. He didn't have enough stamina either, especially when I was a younger game. There we go. There we go. I don't know why it didn't do it the first one. It kind of sucked. Yeah. Alright, we'll head back. I need to get up to level 20, so I think that should be hell far away, actually. I'm gonna run into these things if I'm not careful. 981. Ah, wasted seconds, man. Missed the keystroke. This is where you would freeze the dead and go try to find your body again. So I didn't do too bad. I gotta say, didn't do too bad. My clan's out there leveling up with parties, which is a lot more efficient. And good for them. They need to be good fighters in case we decide to go into the PvP area. Looks like another person just started building like crazy too. Building a tower. Nice. Get a little water view. Hopefully this server doesn't get too crowded because you have lag, server lag, and it becomes unbearable. It's like, yeah, I'm just stop playing. It's horrible. Now I just have to run around this guy's house. That's annoying. Yeah, that's why I want to live out the sticks. Anyway, let's start with Stoicism. So let's summarize it, right? As much as we can. Remember, these are philosophies that you would study for decades in order to really narrow down into the meaning of each, right? I think that's the only thing I have. Okay. All right. So Stoicism: hold to your principles. Use feedback as a mirror, but don't be ruled. by others, especially their opinions. Welcome valid criticism to improve virtue. Dismiss the rest. Strengthen your inner guide. Confucianism. We learn and we become better in community. Everyone around us can teach us something. Emulate the good in others. Correct what you see wrong by ensuring you don't do the same. Hierarchies should allow upward feedback out of loyalty. Buddhism. Approach feedback with mindfulness, not attachment. Let kind truth-telling polish your character. Practice compassionate honesty. Ultimately, know yourself deeply so you can sift feedback wisely. Ubuntu, or African. You are because of others. Embrace feedback as an essential part of being human. The community shapes you, and you shape the community. Feedback is an expression of care and interconnectedness. Nietzsche and modern individualism. Don't become a slave to public opinion or convention. Sometimes you must ignore or defy feedback from the herd to stay true to yourself or to innovate. Seek out challenging companions rather than sycophants. Foucault and critical theory. Be critical of feedback structures. Are they empowering or controlling you? Understand how social feedback can normalize and discipline. Strive to ensure feedback serves truth and growth, not just power. Bell hooks and feminist pedagogy. Create loving spaces for honest dialogue. Give up the need for constant approval. Embrace critical feedback, especially from those with less power, students, children, etc. It can be a catalyst for mutual growth. Feedback is an act of love when done in community. Indigenous wisdom. Value the voice of experience and the collective. Listen deeply to elders, their stories, and nature. Feedback is all around if we're quiet enough to hear it. It guides us to live in balance and with respect. Philosophy, then, both affirms and problematizes feedback. It's essential. But we must be discerning. It can liberate or oppress. It works best in the context of trust, respect, and shared humanity. With this rich theoretical background, the next step is to see how these ideas play out in real life and the scenarios thereof. Let's tomorrow, or not tomorrow, I'm sorry, it'd be Thursday or Friday. I haven't decided because Thursday is a U.S. holiday. We're going to look at some case studies and examples from personal development journeys to professional settings and the world of gaming. And we're going to see feedback loops in action. These stories will ground all the abstract wisdom into concrete experiences we can learn from. So thank you for joining me on this journey. It's been a little bit. I know we had a little combat in between, but I wanted to get a little bit more game in this one because the game is fresh, new for me. It's still the same old game, but it has new concepts and new stuff, new feedback loops, if you will. And I hope you'll join me on Thursday for some real life and gaming case studies. That way we can apply those philosophies. I encourage you, as this channel will always say, and embrace every philosophy because there is some good in every philosophy. With all that said, I hope you have a great day or night, depending on when you're listening. please check out my YouTube channel. I've got short stories, audio stories that I put pictures to, but they're not like AI movies. I also have AI movies, essentially. Not exactly movies, but music videos. AI music videos, prompted by me, directed by me, produced by me. The lyrics, I would say, are 50% me, maybe a little bit more. And then musical instrumentation and direction, I use AI and myself, and AI for, of course, Suno AI for the actual composition, because I do not have that talent of musical composition, although I have great ideas. None will actually have any music composition. I'm sure I can come up with something. I'm sure there's songwriters that never took a lick of music theory in their life. I have one in mind, but I have to verify. But until then, check out the YouTube channel. And I have a Rumble, so if you don't catch this on YouTube or you don't like it on YouTube, I do copy these onto Rumble, for your viewing pleasure. I just do live YouTube for now. So with all that said, have a good day, have a good night, and until Thursday or Friday, really introduce yourself to these feedback loops. It's very important to maintain our virtues and beliefs, and you can tie those into the episodes that we did previously for the virtues and beliefs, because people are going to tell you, they're going to give you feedback about your beliefs, right? So it's best that you have studied ancient philosophies about feedback and how it can be productive and counterproductive. So, have a good night. Have a good day. Be safe, everyone.
With every step, a lesson learned. From fire's heat to the fields I've turned. The blade and bow, the forge and flame. I sharpen my skills, I play the game. Each day brings a challenge I must face. I train my hands with careful grace. From alchemy's art to the hunter's way, I'll find the strength to seize the day. I carve my path, I walk the line, in the shadow of the ancient sign. Through trial and toil, I'll find my way, learning more with each passing day. The skill of survival, the will to thrive, in a world where the strong survive. I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready to fight. From the herbs I find to the iron I mold, each lesson learned is a story told. The stars above, they guide my hand. As I hone my craft, I take my stand. In the quiet woods, in the mountains chill, I push myself, I shape my will. With each new tool and every lore, I'm stronger now than I was before. I carve my path, I walk the line, in the shadow of the ancient sign. Through trial and toil, I'll find my way, learning more with each passing day. The skill of survival, the will to thrive, in a world where the strong survive. I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready to fight. The road is long, but I won't turn back. The lessons I learned keep me on track. With each new show. I've tasted defeat, I felt the sting, but I rise again with each new spring. For knowledge is power, and wisdom the key. I'm forging my path, I'm breaking free. The skill of survival, the will to thrive. In a world where the strong survive, I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready to fight.